It's Atlanta's #1 hip-hop station, Hot 107.9 at home for the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. Of course, you know it's your boy B-High. Radio shouting, man. Stepping in the building, man. I got his Zone 3 partner. My dog, Rara, man. What's good with it, homeboy?
What it do, homie?
I mean, not much. I mean, let's get straight to it. I mean, this sound that you got is different from everybody else in the A right now.
Exactly.
I mean, I was jamming to that higher tape. I was jamming to that high-end, low-life tape. I mean, tell me about the production and all that stuff on there, because I was noticing that them tracks, man, they were sounding like none other.
Yeah, man, I produce everything on the CD on High and Low Life. Everything came from me.
Yeah.
And Toonk did too on High and Low Life, and I did the rest of it. And
yeah.
Then, you know, just playing around, man. Like I always feel like, you know, I don't want to sound like nobody, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the city sounding, everybody sounding alike, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I always been the type of person go against the grain. You know what I mean? And just, you know, like my man saying, sonically, that's how I hear music. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I listen to music. I like New York. I like the Biggie. I like the, you know, Wu-Tang. I like, you know what I'm saying, NWA, IQ. So you know, my sound come from a mixture of different things. You know what I mean? And I just put the A-Town flavor on it.
Now, from what I understand, you got another project on the way. This Project Runway.
Project Runway. Man.
Tell me a little bit about that deal.
Project Runway, man. It just, you know, it's I could say it's like a part two. It's like the sequel to High End Low Life, you know what I mean? And you know, the project stand for, you know, like not like Project Runway, the fashion show. It's just a twist, like project meaning as in Section 8 project. And you know what I'm saying? Runway is a term that I use for myself. I call myself that from time to time just to say because I like to stay fly. You know what I mean? And the whole CD Project Runway, man, is just basically about me, you know what I'm saying, and my upbringing in public housing. You know what I'm saying? Just my vision on what I see. My vision on my outtake on me looking at the big homies, looking at them cars and looking at, you know, where I want to see myself in the future and trying to escape that you know, them Section 8 houses and you know, them food stamps and that, you know what I mean? So it just all together, you know, it's a CD that you're gonna feel good about. If a person came from that, you know, a lot of time, man, we be ashamed that we come from that, we feel like it bad, but it's like, you know, I go back to everything from, you know, even shopping with the candy lady, even, you know, the ice cream truck coming through, you know what I'm saying, you know, back in the day, you know what I'm saying, when I stayed in Tumblerville, you know, they used to have a red dog come through, you know what I mean, like I'm bringing all that, you know, back from what I visioned as a kid, you know what I mean? Now,
I mean, I hate to have to haul off and quote you right now, but I mean, on one of them songs you haul off and said, the rap gang don't want to let me in, but the dope gang sending out invitations, though.
I'm telling you, man, all day. Rap gang don't want to let me in, drug gang sending invitation, county jail make a reservation, waiting on me, they gonna stay vacant. You feel me?
Now, give folks a little bit of a background about yourself. Tell them about how you came up in the game and what other stuff you was doing before you got to where you're at now.
I mean, when I first came in the game, man, I got started on the east side, man, staying at my grandma's house, man. You know, moved out Glenwood or whatever, man. And all my rap really came from there. All my homies out there, man. You know what I'm saying? And I was going to Columbia High School, and you know, we mess around with the talent shows or whatever, and then I end up running the Greg Street. Me and him had a relationship since back then, in like 2003 or whatever. And he introduced me to Jermaine, and another chick from my hood, she introduced me to Nitty. You know what I'm saying? So it all kind of like made sense because I got like them same calls in the same week. So me, Nitty, and JD, we end up doing a little partnership together. You know what I mean? And my first stuff came out through So Del Virgin. You know what I mean? And I was with them for about 2-3 years, man, until, you know, we parted ways or whatever.
Now, I mean, what was it that you learned from that experience, though?
It's a lot, man. You know, I had to humble myself because, you know, like I'm saying on that high-end low-light CD, man, it was a lot that I wasn't ready to take in, you know what I'm saying, back at that time. Like, I don't blame Jermaine for nothing. I don't blame Nitty for nothing. A lot of it, I think, had to do with me personally, just growing up, you know what I mean? And, just, man, you know, just becoming a man, dog. You know,
as a youngin' in the game, though, what were some of the pitfalls that you caught yourself falling into, and you were like, dog, I wish I could have did that over?
Just, man, like stuff like being on time, man, and you know, being more professional, man, and you know, staying away from some of them drugs, man. You know what I'm saying, and the alcohol, and just being around the wrong type of people, man. People that weren't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? For a long time, you know, as a teenager, man, I was around a bunch of cats that you know. Some of them had their mind on right and some of them didn't, man, and just we went on the same page, dog. And you know, when you around that many people and y'all ain't on the same page, you know, it's like we ain't going nowhere real fast. We stuck, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's kind of what it was for me. You know what I mean?
Now with this new music that you got out now, I mean that Dealers in Paris, that's why.
Shout
I mean,
out to him.
Talk to me about it. How did them songs come about?
Man, like I said, man, I was in the studio, man, and high end, low life, you know what I'm saying? It spell out hell, man, if you look at it. And I was just thinking, like, you know, coming from the hood, man, you know, we go through all this stuff. Like, you know, like back in my project, the back in my hood, you might seen a dude with the 745 or Benz or whatever, but we stay in the project, and it's just like, damn, you know what I'm saying? You know, we from the hood, but we so caught up on this materialistic stuff, you know what I mean? And it's like we going through hell to live a certain lifestyle that we ain't really even living, you know what I mean? And then it's just like the whole mind frame thing to me, you know what I mean? Like a lot of stuff, like it go back to me as a teenager, like a lot of stuff I was doing, man, it didn't really make sense, you know what I mean? And it just, you know, we trying to keep that music. Like I want to motivate people, man, to get through their situation. At the same time, I want them to be able to laugh about the situation they going through and just know it's okay, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like it's nobody in Atlanta that period that's taking music well I'm taking it with the content. You know what I'm saying? You got the trappers, you got the people that, you know, discuss things that they done been through in life, but I'm like taking you through the real insecurities of a young black man. You know, growing up without them parents around, growing up at your grandma's house, sleeping on them sofas, and, you know, dealing with that frustration, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't even about so much about, you know, trapping with me or about selling all this and doing all that or being bad. It's just about, you know, like, this the predicament I'm in. This is what my mentality at right now. This my self-esteem low, so let me go do this, and this gonna make me feel good for this moment. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And with my projects, I just try to dissect it to the, you know what I'm saying, to the T.
Now, also, you get busy on that production.
Yes,
what you using over there? I mean, are you on that Fruit Loop, that MP, that machine? I mean, how you getting down over there with all that stuff you putting out, boy?
I use live instruments, dog. You know what I'm saying? I believe in doing everything, you know, authentic. You know what I'm saying? Like my boy, shout out my boy Ricky Fontaine, man. He come through, play the guitar for me. My boy Professor, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Burn One, you know, he gave me a little inspiration on my production and stuff too. I use a lot of samples, man. I crate dig a lot too. You know what I'm saying? And what we do, man, what I do is I just find a record, you know, that they're telling the story already that, you know, fit to the soundtrack that I'm making right at the time, and then I just, you know, build around it and add to it, you know what I mean?
Already. Lastly, what's next for you though, Rara?
Hey, man, take over this city, man. Get this city where it need to be. You know what I'm saying? I got a rap. I say I pick up with G's until left off. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like for me. That's what I feel like I'm put here to do. You know what I mean? Both of them came through and did their thing in these 2000s. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's somebody else's turn to pick up where they left off. And I think, you know, I know for a fact that I got to be him. You know what I'm saying? Because it's real authentic A-Town right here.
Already, I can definitely dig it. Well, homie.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you coming through this thing, my dog. Wish you nothing but the best and much success. Yes, Beehive Radio, shout it. Rara, it's Hot 1079, man. Let's go.
Yeah.